Hi, ladies and gents. Welcome to my very first episode of Rebirth, where I inspire, encourage, and motivate women to become the best versions of themselves. I'm your host, Sharon Kay. Today's episode is super special because it's my very first episode and it's my birthday. I'm so excited about this because I have been contemplating starting my podcast forever. I'm so happy that you guys could join my very first episode. It is mostly going to be an episode where I talk about where I came up with this idea, this concept, give you kind of a rundown about what I've been up to, and to motivate and inspire you to start your journey as well. So I have been in my isolation season where I have been focused on growing my relationship with God, working on my personal growth and development, career growth and development, being a great friend, great mother, being a woman of value. And I was having a conversation with my sister one day, and I was telling her how I just wanted to build a community of like-minded individuals who wanted to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And she was just saying, I think you should do it. I think you should do it. You're such a motivational person. I'm a girl's girl. I am a girl's girl. So it seems like every time I see a woman, like they gravitate towards me. We always have a good kiki. And by the end of it, I'm either complimenting them or I'm motivating them to become their best versions of themselves. So I'm like, what other things should I do besides start a podcast and a community of women who think the same way? I thought about a lot of things that I did with my friends and conversations that I had with my friends. And I'm always like, y'all, other people need to hear this. Like, other people need to know this. I think we all have done that, even with our friends. Like, we need to start a podcast because we be doing it. This is what people need to hear. But I really took it serious because I wanted to promote more positivity in a negative, chaotic world. So I know you're thinking not another podcast, but stay with me here. This podcast is going to be different because it's going to motivate. It's going to inspire. It's going to be 100% positivity. Eventually, when it grows, I want to be able to bring influential women on here that's making power moves in God's eyes. The key word here is God. Like, I have done a drastic transition in my life. God is an amazing, amazing, amazing Father. He will never fail you. He will never let you down. All you have to do is call on him and say, God, I dedicate myself to you. Whatever it is that you need of me, I am here. Use me to share your word. Use me to be a voice of light, a voice of truth, a voice of positivity, to spread love, to spread motivation, all of that good stuff in a world that is so chaotic. While I was going through, I feel like, a spiritual warfare, I did not pray as often as I should have. I did not talk to God as often as I should have. And I felt like my feet were planted in cement. I felt like I was in quicksand going down fast. Baby, I was going down fast. God was whipping me with a braided switch. Okay? So I got to the point where I had no other choice but to lean on him. God has done some amazing things in my life, I must say. And I wanted to share that with you guys so that you know, like, seek him first. Anything that you're trying to do in life, seek him. Even before I started this podcast, I prayed about it. I talked to God about it. I asked him what he wanted me to deliver to you guys because I knew the vision I had. I knew that there was something I was supposed to be doing. I kind of prayed about my purpose, and God said, I need you to be a influential person who share your testimony with the world about what I have done for you. I recently went into isolation mode where I fell off of social media. I kind of distanced myself from people around me, and took the time to really focus on who I was as a person, to focus on my relationship with God, to better my health, to take care of my skin, to take care of my household. It was just so many things that I was able to do while I was in my isolation season. I was able to build my relationship with God more, and He was able to give me clarity on what it is I should be doing, help me to understand my purpose. And that relationship was the best relationship that I have gained in this isolation mode. I focused on going to church every Sunday. I haven't made it every Sunday, but I've made it every other Sunday, and it has been a game changer, like absolute game changer. And I will say this: spending time with God is not a every Sunday thing. It's an everyday thing. You have to set time aside to spend time with God every single day. If you want clarity in your life, if you want direction in your life, if you want a life filled with God, that's a life filled with truth, that's a life filled with positivity, that's a life filled with the right people. While I was going through my transition, I felt like I didn't have many people to talk to about the things that I was experiencing in my transition. The things I was experiencing with understanding God's word and understanding how and why I was feeling the way I was feeling. So that's why I came to you guys with this podcast, because there's enough negativity and chaos out there in the world today. And I just wanted to be that ray of light to give you hope and to encourage you to understand that nothing in this world can stop you from being the best version of you but you. If you believe deep down in your heart that the life you desire, the woman you desire to be, the things you desire to have, the walk with God you desire to have, you can have it. You can have it. It's just up to you to change your mind. The most powerful thing that you have on your body is your mind. And once you get control of your mind, the rest is yours, love. Like, life is so beautiful once you dedicate it to God and get control of your own mind to heal from your past traumas. A lot of the times we don't understand that we're not healed from past traumas, and we're carrying it on from person to person to person, and hurt people. That's why the world is so chaotic right now. We have a lot of hurt people out here. I was so distracted with everything that I thought I wanted. Like, I was running my own life, just running without a map, without a compass, in the dark, no light. Just no direction. I thought I had it figured out. When God wants your attention, He will get it. He will get it. He will let you know that it's only Him doing what is happening in your life. He's like, hey, you think you're doing this? Let me show you something. I'm going to hit pause on everything until you give me your attention. So that's kind of what happened with me. And I decided to go into my isolation mode, where I focused solely on building my relationship with God, understanding where I was actually going in life, understanding my purpose. What was He trying to tell me? What is it that you want me to do, God? So many of the changes I was making in my life, I'm like, dang, like, you're really transitioning. And it's like a rebirth. Like, people will have to get to know you over again once you start to grow, and it's okay. It's okay. Let people get to know you again. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Because things are much different. Once you sit down, isolate yourself, spend time with God, you're going to realize there are a lot of things that you have not healed from. There are a lot of things that you need to sit down and really, really, really focus on to be the best version of you that you could be. When I was growing up, I don't feel like I had a mentor to be able to talk to me about what it was really like to be the woman that I was desiring to be. Like the woman, the version of me in my head. I'm about to tell y'all now, she is that girl. Okay, she is not taking no for an answer. She knows how to present herself everywhere she goes. She is a influential woman in her community. She is an amazing mother to her children. She is a wife to her husband. I mean, that man being treated like a king over there. Listen, I am saying the woman that you know you can be, the woman that you see, and you was like, oh my God, I have to know her. You're her. She's in you. You just have to get her out. Every year for my birthday, I do some self-reflecting. And this year, while I was reflecting, I was trying to figure out what I want to set as a goal for my birthday. I look at my birthday as New Year's. It's kind of weird because I'm like, hey, this is January 1st is not the day I was born. That is not my New Year. My New Year is when I was born. And that's why I named my podcast Rebirth. As I was reflecting back on my own life, I was thinking about the younger version of me who was going through life just a little lost, just trying to keep her head above water. I had my son when I was 19 years old. So it's just like I was in the jungle fighting with the lion, tigers, and bears, honey. That's just how it felt. I felt like I was trying to keep my head above water. So I was just going through life, like just trying to make it versus stopping and looking at my life and saying, hey, this isn't working for me. Or that isn't working for me. I just want to encourage everyone to take the time to stop. Take the time to stop and look at your life and reflect on where you've been, where you want to go, and where you currently are. What you do today impacts your future. Everything you do will impact your future in some way. The way you think, the things you do, the places you go, the people you entertain, the friends you have. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You have to understand that in order to become the woman that you want to become, to get the life that you want to have, you must dedicate yourself to change. You will have to change, and that's totally okay. I know a lot of the times people like shunning upon people changing. Baby, I am going to change. One thing about it, two things for sure. If I'm in the same place that I was a year ago, I'm not doing anything right. Like, I don't know if you're in the same place that you was last year, because I start to notice a pattern in my own life when I was reflecting, and I'm like, there's not too much that has changed since last year. I'm still doing the same things. I'm still seeing the same people. I'm still going out. I'm still the list just was going on. It's just like, no, this has to stop because the woman I desire to be, she don't go here. She don't do that. She don't entertain any of this. She is a woman who goes to Pilates 3 days out of the week. She is a woman who goes to church every Sunday or every other Sunday. She is a woman who is dedicated to being a great mother. She is a woman who is dedicated to being a great wife or fiance or girlfriend. She is a woman who is focused on her career growth and development. She's a woman who is dedicated to being a woman of value in her community. All of that is super important when you are looking at where you're trying to go in life and the things that you're trying to do. I decided to start this podcast so we can build a community of women who think just like that, who want better for themselves, who want more out of life, and to have a like-minded community. Because a lot of the times when we're trying to do things in our lives, you're going to grow past your friends. And I mean, honestly, it's okay. There are some people that have been in your life that has no business being in your life. Let them go. It's time to let those people go. Let go of what was so you can have what should be. Because you tend to forget. You will forget what your future should look like by being idle and staying in a situation that you have no business being in. If you want to grow, change. No one is in your way but you. I want us to get to a point where we stop pointing fingers at everyone else for things that's happening in our lives. Life is a choice. I tell people this all the time. Life is a choice. You choose the path that you want to go down. You choose what you want your life to look like. You choose what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. When I was doing my reflecting, another thing that I was thinking about is understanding what I actually wanted in life and stopping at absolutely nothing until I have what my heart desire. That right there alone will drive you to get where you want to be. You are committing to being a better person, a better version of you. You have to lock in with God and stop at absolutely nothing until you get to where you want to be. You have to commit to yourself. You have to make yourself a promise that you're going to be the woman that you desire to be. You're going to be the man that you desire to be. Nobody is stopping you but you. And I also want everyone to start being accountable for their own actions. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. I am a firm believer in that. I don't feel like if something was to happen to me, I'm like, oh, that happened. Somebody did that to me. No, I put myself in a situation where I allowed that person to do something to me. And that's something that I can learn from. Take everything as a learning lesson. Regret absolutely nothing. I am a person who learned from literally everything that happens in my life. If you do something to me one time, I'm going to forgive you. But I will never forget it. I will never forget it, and it will always be in the back of my mind. So I can't control what you do to me, but I can control how I respond and how I show up in your life. So I want all of us to understand that you have control over your life. Nobody else has control over your life but you. Stop putting so much pressure on other people to show up in your life. What are you doing for you? What are you doing for you that will allow someone to want to do other things for you? Few goals that I set this year that I wanted to focus on. One of them was my own personal growth and development, focus on my health, focus on my career, focus on building the right relationships. So networking, my love life. I wanted to work on that. I know I've been single for a long time. That's another podcast for another day. Atlanta is just a different beast, and we all know that. I'm a woman of value, a real one. I'm from Mississippi. This Atlanta way of life has not been something that I wanted to indulge in. So I just took a step back from all of that. I had to try to understand where I was going to heal from trauma that I did not realize I was still holding on to grieve my father. When I tell you my father was an amazing man, he motivated me to want to leave a footprint in the world that no one could forget. So my father was a humanitarian in our hometown. Everyone loved him. Everyone loved my father. He always was someone who walked around with a smile. When he passed away, people had nothing but great things to say about my dad. And that's something that stuck out with me the most, because it's like, it had me sit back and think for a while. Like, if something was to happen to you, God forbid, what are you leaving behind? What legacy are you leaving behind? Are you adding value in people's lives? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. Like, what is the reason why someone should want to know you? What value are you bringing into their life? Ask yourself that. Half the time, a lot of people don't have much to say. And that's a shame. You can't bring anything into someone's life but negativity, your problems, no money, just a good time, and a kiki. Baby, get somebody else to do it. I need you guys to start thinking about how you add value into others' lives. How do you add value in your own life? What is it that people say about you when you're not around? Are you a messy individual? Are you someone who everyone can depend on? Are you a ray of light? Are you that ray of light in your group? The woman that you desire to be is deep down inside of you, and I want you to do everything in your power to bring her out. You have to think the way she would think. You have to walk in the light that she will walk in. You have to be that person in order to get that person out of you. I know a lot of the times we feel like, oh, I'm not there yet, or oh, I can't do this, or oh, I can't do that. Stop telling yourself what you can and cannot do. Stop downplaying who you are. Society standards, you don't have to live up to them. You choose the path that you want for yourself. You choose the life that you want for yourself. It's up to you to make the plan, put the action together, and get it done. Oh, no one can do that for you but you. We as women lose ourselves in becoming a mom, in being a wife, being a girlfriend, being an employee, being a sister, being a friend. We're being pulled in so many different directions, and we don't know what it is that we truly want anymore. I want you to get back to a place where you are operating the way you want to operate. I want you to walk in the light that you desire to walk in. Stop giving power to everyone and everything else and not yourself. Choose you for once. Choose to do what you want to do for once. Life will change drastically when you do what you want to do. Choose you. I have another episode that will be launching next Saturday at 6 a.m. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so you can be the first to know when I post. I want to leave you guys with a message though. So after all of my episodes, I want to leave you with a verse to carry with you for the rest of the week. So today's verse is from Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, where it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will come."
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not